guys, this is our second video. We are going to be talking about relationship building and why it's so important, especially in this business, but like in life overall. So,
woohoo! I love relationship building. This is my favorite topic. Well, one of them. I always say that, I feel like, but this is one of my favorite topics. And relationship building is so important, and we wanted to really touch on why it's so important, not just for Monet, not just for your business, but for your life in general, like Nat said. So why is relationships so important? Guys, we need people. Like, we need each other. And it sucks to admit, and I feel like so many people don't want to admit that. Like, for some reason, I don't know why culture or society tells us that we have to be like Miss Independent or Mr. Independent, and we are strong alone, and we are strong, you know, no matter what, which is true. But at the same time, like, we're stronger in a community. Like, honestly, I would be nothing without my support system. And I know the same thing goes for everyone. And the more that we actually understand that and accept it as reality, because again, I feel like so many people don't want to accept it.
yeah.
Like, why? I don't know. I mean, I know why.
I think it's maybe because we all think that we can, and I'm speaking, I mean, I say everyone, but this is my experience so far, is that I feel like sometimes it's easier for me to just do it for other people, and I'm like, I can do it. But honestly, I've learned a lot since being in this business, and you cannot carry that weight alone. Like, it is not something that you should carry alone. And for me personally, I'm learning a lot about letting things go and letting each individual kind of just like, you know, lead the way, because without that, you're not producing leaders. You're not breeding leaders without them having to do the work themselves. You know, like, I could easily do things myself and I could go forward myself, but if I really wanted that, I wouldn't be in this business. And something that I actually saw Michael Jordan's The Last Dance last night, and it was such a cool, I guess, like, documentary just talking about leadership in sports, but how that applies to your everyday life. You know, like, Michael Jordan could have been, you know, it was like in one of the last, I think it was like against the Lakers, him against Magic Johnson, and he talked about how, you know, it was really difficult for him to let go of the ball. It was difficult for him to trust the team. But once he started doing that, and once he started building that relationship with everyone and kind of getting to know everyone, that's what ended up winning them the entire championship. That's where Michael Jordan won the championship with his team. So for me, you know, like, I love that concept of passing the ball to your team and kind of just building that relationship with other people, having them support you and you supporting them, and you guys becoming this community of, you know, people who just want to lead.
Mm-hmm. And want to be there for each other. Mm-hmm. Because again, that is the point. Like, why relationships are so important is because we're in this world. This life is hard, guys. Like, and I know everyone on here can agree. Like, this life is hard. Like, I do not know one person that has not gone through a situation or a season in their life that has been extremely difficult, where they have needed other people to be there, to lift them up, to support them. And because we need it, we should also be that person to other people, because we need that when we're down. So why not be that for other people when they're down? So then it becomes like basically like a seesaw. Like, there's a perfect balance. Like, when one is down, the other one is like helping to push them back up. And when the other one's down, the same thing, vice versa. And we're like on the seesaw in life together.
And I think, you know, coming from experience too, like, we've experienced trying to do things on our own, and that's why we're in this business and still trying to lead other people, because we realize that you can't do everything on your own. Mm-hmm. We rely on other people, and other people rely on us. So that building that relationship and that trust with other people, mm-hmm. you know, I think that goes a long way and will get you way further than you trying to do anything by yourself. Because, you know, when you get to the top, or when you like succeed or you hit your goal, who are you sharing that with? Who are you sharing that with? Alone in your apartment by yourself with no one? Or are you celebrating with your team, with your significant other, with your family? You know, whoever it is, it doesn't even necessarily have to be in your business, but just in your life, who are you celebrating your wins with? I think that's really important too.
Mm-hmm. And this is not to say, because I know, like, some of you out there might be like,
well, I'm an introvert, like, I don't really like a lot of people, like, I'm by myself, I'm good by myself, I work better by myself.
I've talked to a lot of people that don't want to work in groups. Like, they rather work by themselves. And I will tell you that used to be me for a long time. Like, I was like, I rather work by myself. Like, I don't understand, like, working with other people. Like, it was just, to me, it was like inefficient. because I'm like, I can just finish this and
then
it's
you're
done.
stacking everything
Yes.
for yourself, and then like who's helping you carry all that? That was something for me, just like the weight of it all. Honestly, it sits with you. It really does sit with you as much as you don't think so. When you look back at all the things you're trying to accomplish yourself, how far have you gotten alone?
Well, I like picture like us like walking through a desert with like all of this like baggage, and like we're like,
We got this,
and then like we hit a rock and we trip and we fall, and we're like,
don't got this, don't got this.
and so when you have someone with you like on that journey, like they can help you. Like you fall on the rock and you're not stuck on the floor. Like they pick you back up, they help you with your bags. And if you have 2 people next to you, even better, because now the 2 people are there helping you pick up your bags, helping you pick up the stuff. And again, that's life. Like we can only go for so long before we get sick, because we're human. Like we're human beings. Like we're not perfect. And we do get sick, and we do get tired, and we do get frustrated, and we do get like hit a wall where we can't keep going. And so that's why it's so important to build relationships, so that way when that does happen, you do have people that you can rely on. Like, hey, I'm sick, like help me, send me some soup, like do something. Honestly, like how great is it when you're sick and you have someone to take care of you? Who doesn't want that? And I will say that when I'm sick, that's the time that I'm like begging for somebody. I'm like, please, I need somebody to take care of me, like hold my hand, rub my feet, like
Tell me everything's gonna be okay.
yeah. And I feel like that's a general aspect of life, but if you put that with business, it's the same thing. With your business, again, like even though yes, like business has a certain structure, we're still human beings inside of that structure. So again, we're still gonna hit that point where we're like sick of whatever's happening. Maybe that structure isn't working. Maybe whatever you created isn't giving you the results that you thought you were gonna get. You need another person to come in and be like, hey, why don't we try this? Or let's do it this way.
Yeah.
So building relationships is so important. So how do we open ourselves up to having relationships?
Okay, so the first thing is that you have to drop the ego, because if you don't drop the ego, you're not making a genuine connection with other people. Sometimes the ego could be fear. It could be, it could be a lot of things, but I think that once you just approach the situation with an open mind and an open heart and just being open in general, like that will change the whole situation. That'll change the other person's perception of you also, because what you put out into the universe is what you're going to get back. So if you put out an open mind and an open heart and you put the ego aside, you're going to get back all of those same things. People are going to be the same way with you if you are completely open to them. And I know that I had a problem with that, not too long ago. Like my ego would always stop me from doing things because I didn't want to seem weak, or I didn't want to like let people in on my emotions or anything. But once I started letting people in, I realized that other people can help, and other people are giving me back what I'm putting out. And whether that's someone new or someone I've known for a long time, but I really have found that when I kind of come in very open and light and, just allowing other people to be in my space and kind of just approaching them in, I don't know, I guess like that kind of way, I just found that the results are way different. The results are way different, and the reaction's a lot different, and the outcome is like just completely out of the world. So,
and ego also is like, what am I gonna get out of this? So like that's also like what ego does. It's like it makes you focus on yourself, and it makes you focus on like what you're gonna get out of a conversation or out of this person, and so then that becomes your focus, and that stops you from being able to create that bond and create that relationship. But when you're like, okay, what can I do for this other person? Like, how can I help them? How can I support them? Like, that's when everything changes. That's when you really create these bonds, when you really open the door for trust, which is so big, guys. Like, trust does not exist everywhere in this world. Like, how many people do you trust? Count it on your fingers, because I know that it's probably on one hand. Like, seriously, a lot of, and I know because I ask people, I'm like, how many people do you actually trust in this world? Because I can tell you that the people I trust is actually more than both my hands.
I was just gonna say that, but also I feel like that has happened over time because we built those relationships. So we've made building a relationship a priority. So that's why we have all those people that we're able to trust, because we got to know them. We understand where they're coming from. We're communicating. All those things are just extremely essential to however far you want to go in your business and in your life. So.
And like one relationship I could think of is my manager from college, Kim. Kim, I love you. I'm gonna make you watch this now. But Kim is someone that, she was my manager when I was working at Plato's Closet. And again, my intention is always to build relationships. So we became really good friends, and I always want to serve people. So I'm like, how can I help you? Like, she was a single mom, and she had a daughter. So I would always do stuff like, can I take care of your daughter? Like, can I do this? Like, what can I do like to serve you more? Because she is my manager, because I know that she helps me out by like scheduling me different, or like doing different things, like giving me time off. So like I would always like want to go above and beyond for her. And guess what, guys? Like, to this day, we're still friends. Like, she was one of my first customers with Monet. Like, she follows me forever. Yeah, and that's what a relationship is like really supporting each other no matter what phase or season you are in life. And it keeps going forever. Like, I know that when I have a kid, like, she's gonna call me. I know that when I get married, like, she's gonna be there. Like, I know that that relationship's gonna keep going forever. And that's the beauty of building relationships with that solid foundation. So we have a challenge for you guys to go ahead and start building relationships, guys. Like, look at the relationships you have now and say, how can I make these better? How can I improve these? Like, what do I need to let go so I can be a better friend, sister, daughter, cousin, whatever it is? Like, how can you let go of certain things so you can have deeper relationships with the people you have already? And then how can you branch out, which is like the fun part, and a lot of people don't want to do that, but you have to. Like, that's what causes growth. Like, the more people that you meet, the more stories you hear, the more perspectives you hear, like, that's what shapes you, that's what molds you and becomes a better person.
Finding something that you connect with other people. So for me, what I do is I really try to, like, I look at these people's lives from an outsider's perspective, and if something comes across my feed, say we're talking about on Instagram, something comes across my feed and I have like some kind of connection with that, for instance, I'm going to use Alexis as an example, but I absolutely like think that Alexis's kids are so cute. Like, do I want kids? I'm not really sure, but that's something that I'm like, wow, your kids are adorable. And then we started connecting over how funny her kids are, because I love that. I love that personality. I love how gorgeous her kids are. Like, we've connected over that. Or there's some people who post something about, needing like some kind of skin, whatever. And I tell them, like, this is what I use. That's something that I connect with them over. So every single person that crosses me, I really do try to make a genuine connection. So I think that that's like where you start.
Yeah, so perfect. So looking at your relationships, starting to branch out, and looking to have a genuine connection. So guys, that's your challenge. I hope you can put that into action. Please DM us, talk to us. Nat and I love to talk to people about this, and we will help you. So follow us on Instagram. Again, it's going to be in our description. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and stay tuned for the next one.